The stars had grown quiet. Too quiet. Across the galaxy, once bright planets had vanished, swallowed by something no one could stop. The Council of Stars, an alliance of the most advanced alien civilizations, gathered in panic. Ships glided silently through the void, screens flickering with reports of worlds erased. "We cannot fight it," said Zorlin, the council leader, his many eyes reflecting fear. "Our weapons fail. Our shields fail. Every world is falling." The council had tried everything: energy pulses, gravitational traps, even weapons powered by dark matter. Nothing worked. Each attempt only slowed the destruction for a short while. Slowly, the council began to realize the truth. They were powerless. Then, the youngest member, a small alien named Fira, spoke. Her voice trembled, but her idea was daring. "There is a record of humans. Long ago, they left their homeworld and vanished. They were primitive, but they survived in cryo-sleep, frozen on ships across the stars."
Humans? Primitive humans?
They had been dismissed for centuries as a failed species, barely capable of interstellar travel. The council had forgotten them entirely. "Are you suggesting we wake them?" Zorlun asked, his voice a mix of disbelief and hope. Fira nodded. "We cannot do this alone. Perhaps humans, whatever remains of them, can help." The council argued. Some feared humans would be uncontrollable. Others thought they would be useless. But slowly, desperation turned the discussion. If they did nothing, all life in the galaxy could be lost. So, they decided, the humans would be awakened. On a distant ship, orbiting a quiet, dying planet, the cryo-chambers hummed with ancient energy. Humans had been asleep for centuries, dreaming in frozen silence. Their bodies were preserved, untouched by time, their minds dormant in endless loops of virtual memories.
The aliens approached cautiously.
Machines whirred as the cryolocks opened, mist spilling into the cold chamber. The first human awoke with a gasp, eyes snapping open in confusion. His name was Marcus, a tactical expert from a planet now long gone. He struggled against the restraints, muscles stiff from centuries of sleep. He didn't understand where he was, or why. Around him, dozens of other humans stirred. Engineers, scientists, medics, and even a few soldiers. All from different worlds, all frozen in time. They looked at each other, and then at the strange, many-eyed aliens surrounding them. "What? What is this?" Marcus demanded, his voice rough and cautious. "You are awake," Fira said gently, though her many limbs twitched nervously. "We need your help. Something is destroying the galaxy. We have no idea how to stop it." The humans blinked. They had slept through centuries, only to awaken to a crisis bigger than any they had ever faced. But instinct, sharp human instinct, flared inside them. They didn't wait to understand. They observed. They assessed. They began to plan. A sudden alarm broke the tense silence. Sensors detected movement outside the ship. A scout of the void entity, a writhing mass of energy and shadow, hovered in orbit. The aliens froze in terror. The humans didn't. Marcus barked orders instinctively. "Weapons ready!"
"Shields up! Don't let it touch the hull!"
In moments, humans had adapted the alien ship's defenses. They combined their knowledge of physics with their quick thinking, creating strategies no alien had considered. Beams bent, shields pulsed, and the entity recoiled, unable to predict their moves. For the first time, the aliens felt something they had almost forgotten: hope. The humans had been underestimated. They had been dismissed. But now, even in confusion and fear, they showed power, creativity, and courage that none of the aliens could match. Zorlun watched silently, realizing the truth. These humans, these relics of a long-lost era, might be the galaxy's only chance. And perhaps the galaxy was about to learn why humans were never truly primitive. The scout of the void entity was gone, but the tension in the ship remained. The humans had survived their first test, but no one knew what came next. The aliens looked at them with a mixture of awe and fear. They had never seen beings adapt so fast. Marcus walked through the ship, his boots echoing against metal floors. His eyes scanned every console, every corridor. The humans were awake, but sleep still weighed on them. Their minds were slow at first, foggy from centuries of cryo-sleep. Yet, as they touched the alien technology, their old skills returned like lightning striking. "We need to understand their tech," said Lila, an engineer with a sharp mind and quicker hands. "We can't just wait for them to attack again. We have to be ready." The aliens hesitated. "It is dangerous," Fira warned. "You do not fully understand it." "Everything is dangerous now," Lila said. Her voice was calm, but there was fire in her eyes. She looked at the alien consoles and started pressing buttons, recalibrating the ship's systems with a mix of human logic and intuition. Machines whirred, and lights flashed. Slowly, the ship began to feel alive. Other humans began to move with purpose. Soldiers checked weapons, medics examined each other for any cryo damage, and scientists pored over alien data, trying to understand the void entity. Every human found a place. Outside, the void entity moved again, circling nearby planets like a hungry predator. The aliens froze, unsure how to respond. Marcus looked out the viewport. His jaw tightened. "It's coming back. We can't hide. We fight. Or everything dies." The aliens hesitated. Their entire history was about caution, about careful study. Humans were different. They acted first, thought later. But their action always carried purpose. Lila had finished her adjustments. "I've rerouted the power through the shields and weapons. It should hold against the Void's attacks, at least for now. But we need a plan." Marcus nodded. "We improvise. We adapt. That's what humans do." The first encounter came sooner than anyone expected. A smaller shadow, faster and sharper than the last, slammed into the ship's outer defenses. Beams of energy flared, alarms screamed, and the ship shook. Aliens panicked. But the humans didn't. They moved with precision, issuing orders, adjusting shields, redirecting power, and even using parts of the ship as makeshift weapons. The Void Scout lashed out, but humans reacted faster than anything the aliens thought possible. With a combination of instinct and creativity, they forced the shadow to retreat. The aliens watched in stunned silence. Their leaders had never seen tactics like this. Moving, changing, thinking on the fly. They realized humans weren't just strong. They were unpredictable in ways the Void entity itself could not predict. Later, in the quiet of the command room, Marcus gathered the humans. "We are awake now," he said. "And we know one thing. They cannot stop us if we work together. We'll need the aliens' technology, but we'll use it our way. That's how we survive. That's how we win." The humans nodded, each understanding the stakes. They had been asleep for centuries, but their minds were alive, sharp, and ready. In the face of a threat that had terrified the galaxy, humans were beginning to show the first signs of what made them truly dangerous. Fira looked at them with a mixture of fear and hope. "They are remarkable," she whispered. "I did not know humans could be so clever." Marcus turned to her. "We are humans," he said simply. "When we're awake, we find a way. That's all we ever do." And for the first time in centuries, the aliens felt that maybe, just maybe, hope was not lost. The humans were awake. And now they were ready to fight. The Void entity was growing bolder. Planets vanished faster. Entire systems swallowed in seconds. The aliens panicked, unsure how to fight back. But the humans had a plan. Marcus stood on the bridge, looking at the holographic map of the galaxy. "We can't just defend. We need to hit it where it hurts," he said. "We'll use its own energy against it." The aliens murmured in disbelief. "Impossible," said Zorlun. "We have tried everything. Nothing works." Humans didn't wait for permission. They split into teams, each focused on a task. Engineers modified the ships, combining alien and human technology in ways no one had imagined. Weapons could now store energy from the void itself, then reflect it back. Shields became flexible, moving and bending unpredictably. Even the smallest human instinct, dodging, timing, improvising, was used as a weapon. As the fleet moved closer to the void's path, humans trained the aliens to follow their tactics. Though many were slow to learn, they adapted quickly, using a mix of human creativity and alien power. The first real test came in the shattered remains of a destroyed star system. The void entity's shadowy form loomed over the fleet, tendrils of energy swirling like smoke. Aliens trembled. Humans did not. Marcus gave the order. All ships, move as one. Be unpredictable. Lure it in. The void entity attacked immediately, its energy lashes tearing through defenses. Aliens froze or retreated. Humans darted between attacks, weaving like threads through danger. Lila and her team fired makeshift weapons, capturing the void's energy and sending it back. Scientists calculated angles and timing faster than any alien computer could. Slowly, the tide began to turn. The void entity lashed again, expecting the fleet to break, but the humans never faltered. Every strike they returned was smarter than the last. Every movement was instinctive and precise. The aliens started to understand. Humans did not just fight, they adapted. They learned from the enemy faster than the enemy could evolve. It was like watching a predator play a game no one else knew existed. Hours turned into days. The void entity grew frustrated. Systems it had destroyed easily before now resisted, now struck back. Humans coordinated attacks the aliens could barely follow. They risked everything, ships' lives, even themselves. But each risk was calculated, each action purposeful. During a brief moment of calm, Marcus addressed the fleet. We are alive because we move, because we think, because we act. Do not wait for anyone else. The galaxy is ours to save, if we dare to try.
Humans became legends in real time. Soldiers who had never seen advanced alien technology improvised weapons that tore through enemy defenses.
Engineers reprogrammed alien ships mid-battle, turning them into extensions of human skill. Scientists used the void's own energy to create traps. By the end of the engagement, the fleet had won a decisive victory. The void entity had retreated, at least for now, leaving a trail of wreckage behind. Humans had led the charge. Aliens were stunned, awed by their bravery, ingenuity, and unpredictability. Zorlin looked at Marcus, disbelief in his eyes. I underestimated you.
Humans, you are unlike any species I have known.
Marcus shrugged, exhausted but steady. We adapt. We survive. That's all we've ever done. The humans had shown that even in the face of a threat no one else could beat, they could lead, think, and act in ways the galaxy had never seen. For the first time, hope spread, not just among the humans, but across the alien fleets that had relied on them. And somewhere in the void, the entity pulsed with awareness, realizing that it had met its first real challenge. Humans had struck back.
Humans had survived, and the galaxy would never underestimate them again.
The void entity had learned. Its attacks were faster, sharper, more violent than ever. Entire fleets of aliens had fallen in its path. Planets were gone. Fear hung over the galaxy like a dark cloud, but the humans were ready. Marcus stood on the bridge of the lead human alien ship, eyes fixed on the swirling darkness ahead. This is it, he said. We don't just defend anymore. We end this now.
Together. The aliens looked at him nervously.
Fira spoke first. Are you sure? It is. Stronger than anything we have faced. Marcus smiled faintly.
Stronger? Maybe.
But it hasn't faced humans before. Humans had trained the aliens to fight smarter, faster, and more unpredictably. Still, it was the humans who would lead. Every ship they commanded moved like a part of a single organism, dodging the entity's lashes and strikes. Humans improvised mid-battle, combining alien tech and human skill in ways no one thought possible. Lila directed the engineering teams, rerouting energy in real time. Shields bent and shimmered, weapons absorbed enemy energy and fired it back. Scientists calculated the entity's attack patterns faster than it could adapt. Even small gestures, a sudden turn of a ship, a quick recalculation, became deadly strategies. The void entity roared in frustration. It had destroyed planets, fleets, and civilizations. But humans were different. They were not predictable. They were not afraid. Every move they made was calculated, yet fluid, instinctive yet brilliant. Marcus gave the command. Now. Trap it. The humans had created a daring plan. Using energy from the void itself, they had constructed a loop of concentrated power. It was risky. If it failed, the fleet would be destroyed. But if it worked, the entity would have no escape. The ships moved into position. Humans gave clear, sharp orders, and the aliens followed, trusting the humans for the first time in their lives. As the void entity lunged, the trap snapped shut. Energy spiraled, bending light and dark, twisting space itself. The entity screamed, a sound no one had ever heard, a mixture of rage and confusion. For a moment, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a final pulse of human ingenuity, the entity was forced back. It shuddered, weakened, and finally fled into the void, leaving behind only faint traces of its presence. Silence filled the bridge. Humans and aliens alike stared at the monitors, realizing what had just happened. They had won. Against a force no one else could fight, humans had succeeded. Zorlun, the alien council leader, approached Marcus. His many eyes glistened with respect.
I have never seen such courage and brilliance. Humans, you are truly remarkable.
Marcus shook his head. We did what we had to do.
That's all humans ever do. We survive. We adapt. We fight. The aliens had learned something they had long forgotten. Humans were not primitive. Humans were not weak. Humans were unstoppable when they worked together, when they trusted their instincts, when they refused to give up. Across the galaxy, survivors watched as human-led fleets repaired, rebuilt, and defended planets. Humans shared their knowledge with the aliens, teaching them new ways to adapt and fight. Even in the darkest corners of space, hope returned. Fira looked at the humans, a small smile on her many-limbed face. They have changed everything, she whispered. Marcus looked out at the stars, thinking of the centuries lost in cryosleep. We may have been asleep, he said quietly, but now the galaxy knows. When humans wake up, nothing can stop us.
For the first time in history, humans were not just survivors, they were heroes.
Leaders. Protectors. The galaxy would never forget their courage, their cleverness, their audacity. Humanity had proven that even in the face of ultimate darkness, one species could rise, fight, and triumph. And somewhere in the vast emptiness, the void entity would remember them forever. Humans had awakened. Humanity had won.